Good evening, ballers. Welcome to the 85th episode of the Stepback. Your host, Leon Tompkins, my main man, Jacob Moses, and joining us tonight, very valued group member, Andrew Morales, Utah, you know, Utah Jazz fan, here to discuss Donovan Mitchell, his exit, and, it's glad to have him in the group. Yeah, discount sale. Yep, there you go. Get him on a clearing track.
Got him on a 3-for-1.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good, man. A little bit stressed out with the Jazz situation, but in Danny we trust.
Yeah, I've heard that sentence before. My man thought he was, dealing with, figured he had success with one New York team, try to fleece another, but it's an incredible haul he got for Mitchell. But what's your thoughts on the entire thing, man?
Look, people all over the place are criticizing that trading and the Rudy Gobert trade. Like, why are you trading your stars that have taken you to the playoffs? Like, why are you, tanking all of a sudden? That's not been successful. Sometimes it flops. I'm like, well, sometimes it's good. Like, look at like the Sixers. They flopped for a while. Now they're really consistent. Look at the Boston Celtics. There's some cases that you can be competitive, and then out of the blue, grab some Jason Tatum's and Jaylen Browns out of the draft. So it depends on how you look at it. My biggest thing is like people are criticizing like, oh, you're getting 17 draft picks. They are you're getting too much, and they're like, and then on the other hand, they look at the other side and they're like, Sam Presti is such a great GM. He's amazing. 17 draft picks. Who would have thought? He's hauling the whole NBA. And it's like the hypocrisy is just like evident. Like, why are you criticizing Danny H for doing the same thing as, you're betting on Victor Wembanyama, which is like a transcendent talent. You're betting on other future stars that could stay for the long haul in Utah. So it's like my thoughts are like, be patient. Nothing happens overnight. So at the end of the day, you gotta like be patient, focus, and try to do the best of you can. Your stars weren't coexisting together. Try to get the best haul you can from them.
Yeah, like speaking of the best haul, like so Mitchell ends up in Cleveland, Gobert ends up in Minnesota. I mean, Gobert, David Gobert can go for 5 draft picks. It's still like mind-boggling, and I thank you for it because it kept Katie in Brooklyn. But Mitchell to Cleveland for Sexton, Markkanen, a few other picks, and what I got
Ochai Agbaji,
Agbaji, and what three draft picks.
So it was 3 unprotected and 2 swaps.
There you go. Now, everybody knows the Knicks offer was Fournier and Obi and 5 draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to choose which one you wanted, which one you still take Cleveland?
Just to make sure, I was still debating because the thing is with the Knicks one, the Knicks were protected. All of them were protected picks, from what I'm hearing. So you're talking about 5 protected picks versus 3 unprotected and 2 swaps. You gotta go with the ones that you're guaranteed to get, picks, right? In a sense. But you're also risking that, trading Donovan to a really loaded Cavs team with 2 All-Stars and and Evan Mobley that is a star on the rise. You're gonna have a not a lottery pick for to be like more generalizing. So at the end of the day, I still believe the best one was Cleveland. Also for the players that we got, I believe Lauri Markkanen and Colin Sexton have a more upside. I like Obi Toppin, but I still think, in my opinion, I think Lauri Markkanen has a better upside, like as a shooter and kind of like player. You've seen what he's done in Finland and this Eurobasket, so it's kind of like I got more trust in him. But at the end of the day, we knew what the New York Tats, you know. We knew we could have gotten more if they would have given us. So the Knicks fans are like, oh, it's too much. And like, what do you expect? It's the Knicks. Like you want to like, you know that they're in a tough spot, the management to comply with the fans. So you can get as much as you can, then you can. If not, then you just go other routes. But I think the Knicks did the best decision in not giving a little bit more. I still think that is the true thing, but I still think that the best return was from Cleveland, but the Knicks one was not as bad as people put it that way. Like it's still like, you get Obi Toppin. I think Quentin Grimes, I think his Grimes was included in the package, or quickly one of them. But they wanted to include RJ Barrett, which was, for me, is too much, and for me would have been the best, like the difference maker between both. But I prefer the Cleveland one.
So Jacob, I know like rumors came out that like the last offer was like with RJ Barrett, like 2 first-round picks, and this came before the RJ Barrett extension, which I'm glad he got. I'm glad he got his money.
Absolutely.
Would you have done either of those trades?
Honestly, I would have leaned if I didn't want to see Obi go, but if it was more of an Obi quickly and then the picks, I would have been like, okay. Or Fournier, you throw him in there, absolutely. But the thing about the picks is the Cavs are going to be good. So those picks, they're going to be low, I'll say in the 20s, most likely, if everybody stays healthy, which I do get it. I get where he was going. Get the most out of the Knicks because Danny Ainge, she's a Boston Celtic at heart, so you know how that goes. But either way, I would have been fine. RJ, listen, I've said it before and I'm gonna say it again. He wanted to be here. He embodies New York really well. He's pretty much, he shows emotion when he's on the floor, but when he's off it, he's not, some knucklehead. He carries himself well. New York needs that kind of guy. And plus he was improving every single year he's been here. And I didn't want them to break that up. Like I said, I love Donovan, Brooklyn guy from New York. You got to love those kind of guys. I always root for my New York guys. But I don't think he honestly wanted to go to Cleveland. Let's be real. We all knew where he wanted to be. But Danny, listen, he's going to another winning team, which I get it completely. But you look at the Knicks roster. Now we kept Obi. You got Quickly. Grimes is on the come up. You got RJ. You got Mitch back. Randall better get his headspace right. And I think we're fine. With Mitchell, and you got Brunson. Can't forget about him. And then when I really started thinking about it, I'm like, damn, maybe they should have did the deal. But once again, we would probably been in the same predicament as we were with Carmelo. And everybody knows, if you know me, I hated that deal. Couldn't stand it. Could have waited. If Melo would have said, well, if you don't trade for me now, you're going to Brooklyn, I would say, take your ass to Brooklyn. I'll see you later. But I'm just not a big fan on gutting teams. We had the chemistry for the most part. Yes, they took steps back, but we have a camaraderie there that you can watch and you can be excited about because of the youngsters there. Our average age is still 25, 26. Plus all our draft picks are still there. If Leon Rose gets it right, Knicks can have a nice team in the East for years to come. And we haven't had that in God knows how long. So I'm good with it. Honestly, I'm good with it. I'm happy for Donovan. He's on another team with Garland. That backcourt is going to be disgusting. I'm going to watch a lot of Cleveland games. I won't lie. Garland, himself, Mobley. I mean, it's just, I like it. I like that 3.
Yeah, that's a nice loaded team with LeVert, Jared Allen, and Kevin Love, and Ricky Rubio coming off the bench. So, I mean, I thought the trade made them a top 4 team. And with the Knicks, if Mitchell was like a Kawhi Leonard type piece where he would be like a missing piece to make him a title contender, then I would do it. But it just shows the difference in Knicks management from years past. Angel, like you said, it was pretty evident that Mitchell was going to walk out the door. Do any of you think that Danny Ainge this was a payback move by not sending him to New York?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
of course.
Absolutely.
Look, it was a payback move, but you got to look at it. He didn't put him in a he didn't send him to the who knows who's a trash team on the East. Hmm. I
Hmm.
mean, you didn't send he didn't send him to a trash team on the East. He sent him to
Yeah.
a play-in team that
Mhm.
got bad with the injuries late on the season.
Hmm.
This team, we're talking about a team that was a top 4 seed on in the middle of the season before
Hmm.
even, and you can trace it back to Ricky Rubio's injury. That after that, that was your backbone on your bench rotation, and now you're relying a lot on Garland and on everybody else to the starters to carry the load, right?
Hmm.
So now you add Donovan Mitchell, and now you bring all those pieces, those veterans back from the bench. You're talking about a really, scary team. I don't put them, I'm not over hyper. People are like, oh, this is a championship contender. They still have to prove them between Milwaukee
Yep.
and Boston and Miami. Those are, the top 3 dogs right now. But then,
Mhm.
Philadelphia is also a team that, has been scary. Even Brooklyn, if the KD and Kyrie thing eventually works, that's scary as heck too.
Yep.
And now with Joe Harris coming back and all those players. But at the end of the day, I don't think it was that bad of a payback, but it was like, I'm not going to send you to New York or to LA or to Miami. You get your little resorts and your tats free money in Miami. You're going to go to Cleveland where you're going to suffer, but at least you're going to play hard.
Mhm.
You're going to have a good team.
Absolutely. And I definitely want to, Corey. Yes, basically not Randall. I'm not giving up on Randall. I just don't. I just want to see him with a point guard. Someone like Brunson that can actually facilitate when he doesn't have the ball in his hands. But the last time he played with a legit point, did he play with one in? Well, Alonzo Ball. You can say Alonzo Ball was there at that little time that he played, and he thrived. He didn't play the way he did in New York. So, put him with Brunson. I think his numbers would be there again. But, that's because Obi's not going to get playing time with Tips here. That's the only reason I would say let Obi go, because I don't think he's going to get the ample time that he needs to become that player with Tibbs, to be honest. Let's be honest.
Who
Let's
was the
keep it
point
real.
guard when he was an all-star like 2 years ago? It was that playoff team was Derrick Rose or
Rose and who the hell was the other guy? I'm losing my mind.
let me. I'll search that quickly. Sorry.
Because someone got hurt and then Rose went to the starting lineup for a bit.
Yeah, I was about to say, was it Peyton? Am I losing my mind? Was it Alfred Payton?
I think it was Peyton.
I think it was.
Was it Payton?
I'm
I
almost
think
certain it was.
I'm confirming that one.
I honestly, you might be right. It might have been Payton.
Oof. It was Alfred Payton. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, he was.
That was a bad one.
He was, but he's a pass first kind of point guard, though. He had his good game. He had his good games, and mostly bad. And Lord knows when he shot, I yelled at my TV. But when you look at this Cleveland roster, man, you can't. Kevin Love, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley. You still got CD, right? He's all right.
Isaac Okoro has been playing good.
I like Okoro. He could be a 3-and-D guy. His defense, that's his calling card, though. We forget about Karis LeVert. Nobody talks about him. He's still on.
Karis LeVert is still there.
He's still on that squad. You got the Fro, your man, Jared Allen. I mean, you just can't. I mean, it's a lot of talent. Robin Lopez, he can come off the bench and do what he does. I mean, smacking up freaking mascots, have his little comedy show there. I mean, Dean Wade showed himself. He wasn't too bad. Wendler, he was a good shooter. I mean, there's depth there and talent. So, sky's the limit for this team.
Yeah, I'm a huge believer in Cleveland. I had them going into the play-in, contending for the play-in last year, and then they exceeded it until the injury. So, I mean, yeah, like you said, man, the sky's the limit for that team. Much better than their football team.
I can even guarantee this will be a team that is top 6. Like they're not gonna be going through the play-in for sure.
Yeah,
and that is not a crazy take. People will be like, well, that's you're betting too much on a team. We're betting on a team that was 7-8 seed last year and they got better. That's a guarantee they're gonna be top 5, 6. And who knows? I don't know the other teams. Probably Chicago will fall off from
Yeah.
that top six. So
That's interesting. I like that.
Like, so
What about
another guy who was traded from Utah, I mean, really short time, uh, Patrick Beverley. Now,
gas
now he's in
legend.
LA, teaming up with Russell Westbrook for it. I don't see them keeping Westbrook much longer. He done sold his mansion out in LA, but
Mhm.
Pat Bev been in the playoffs every year of his career. Now AD and LeBron are playing with him. Uh, what you guys take on the Pat Bev move to LA?
Um, looking at the stats here, we're talking about a guy that is a 41% shooter, 37% 3-point shooter, which is not great. Like we're not saying Pat Beverly is a great 3-point shooter, but it's a bigger upgrade than what they had before from shooting. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
So I think Pat Bev, and plus we got defense like Pat Beverly, and much of you want to criticize him about his drawing. He's a pester, and that's what you need on defense.
Mhm.
He will give you his all. I mean, I don't think it's a game changing move, but it's way better than what they had before. I mean, and
Mhm.
when I say like before, I mean before Westbrook got the point guard on the year that they went to like they got eliminated in the first round.
Mhm.
So who knows? Maybe trade Westbrook for a Bojan Bogdanovic. There's a those were rumors that I was hearing. You being a good scorer that could grab the ball and create for himself, or play a corner three type of thing. But at least for me, it's better. It was a good trade from the Lakers, but you traded Taylor Horton Tucker and Stanley Johnson, which Johnson was not the big deal, but Taylor Horton Tucker still has upside too.
Mhm.
So you gave a lot for a maximum 2-year player on a contract. Like probably gonna trade him after the second year. I don't know. It's better, but I don't think it was the solution to the problem at point guard.
Absolutely. They LA has a whole bunch of problems that they got to deal with. You got street clothes that can't play a full season. And you got aging LeBron. LeBron can put up all the numbers he wants, but without that help, come on, their roster is severely flawed. Um, yeah, you had like Malik Monk doing his thing. Had a few games. They look good, but hell, this team, what, 7th, 8th seed? And I'm being generous. I'm being generous. I'm being really nice on this one. But that's just hoping that AD's healthy. LeBron can stay on his game. Patrick Beverly is gonna. I can't even get. Why would you get it? Yeah, it's great to play defense, but I'm pretty sure you could have picked somebody in the draft that can, play solid defense. There's a lot of guys coming out that can play defense really well. And Patrick Beverly, yeah, he's a dog. He's a linchpin that you can have on any team. Jaws take you off your game, but that's not a championship altering move. I'll tell you that right now. It's it is what it is. That's it's
And
that kind
like
of move
me,
that you go.
and like the weird thing about it,
Mm,
like Horton Tucker, yeah, he has so much upside, but
mm,
the Lakers, like, I really they overplayed their hand.
mm-hmm.
They didn't trade him for Lowry, they didn't trade him for Wall, they didn't trade him for Hield or Turner, and you end up with Patrick Beverly. I mean, it's like 3 years too late. Granted, Lowry
Oh
was
yeah.
old now, but I mean, at the time, that's what the Lakers needed.
Mm-hmm.
And that Beverly Westbrook relationship, I think, is just too toxic to even try to repair. A new
Sorry.
coach, high expectations. It's with a flawed roster. I get what they're trying to
and
do.
how and I don't even know how they're gonna coexist on the floor at the same time. Like you got two, like Beverly is not a good, he's a decent playmaker at best, but he's not a good playmaker. And then you got Russell Westbrook, who's turning the ball over 5 times a game. He's as much as we give him props for his consistency, which I give him, he's inefficient. So how are you even going like if you're not even trade Westbrook, how are you gonna play LeBron, Westbrook, and AD at the same time with Beverly on the court? He's not a reliable shooter. And then you got who's the other one? Malik Monk is the other player there.
No, Monk is in
Unless
Sacramento.
they let him
My
go.
bad.
Okay, he did. Okay.
Who's the starting point? Who's starting shooting guard right now? They don't even have a
I know they
decent
have
starting shooting guard.
they got the Thomas Bryant from Washington.
Yeah, I like him though because stay healthy.
That's a good pickup.
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick
Again,
Nunn's
not
supposed to
a-
be coming back, but
Oh yeah,
and-
yeah, Kendrick Nunn.
yeah, but in that Western Conference, it's not enough.
Mm-mm.
You're asking LeBron to do way too much, and you're asking Westbrook to turn into a corner 3-point shooter. Yeah, good luck with that.
Oh, they got Juan Toscano Anderson. Then they got Lonnie Walker, which I like. Oh, I like Lonnie Walker.
Austin Reeves.
Shit.
That was the thing they needed to address, shooting guard. Even if I think you could have kept Westbrook and pick up a 3-and-D player. That would have been better than Beverley. But
Yep.
who knows?
Hey, they got Scottie Pippen Jr.
He actually did look good in summer league.
Oh yeah, he did. He really did. Oh yeah, he's gonna be good. Listen, you can't run away from the DNA unless you Jordan's kids. All right. I'm just, I'm just saying. That's fucking true. I think he'll be fine. He plays with high energy. You know, Lakers need that. They'll find 10, 15 minutes a game for him.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's gonna need it because once LeBron like quits about 3 times a game, you gotta bring in somebody for energy off the bench. So
You'll come off the bench, Scotty. Listen, Scotty Jr. Come here, get in there.
He'll just be like in the corner when you know, like the Space Jam movie where you take the talent from the player. He'll be on the corner just so LeBron can take energy. Like he'll go back in.
Get my Gatorade, kid. Stop playing.
Now, I know the last time we spoke about like Durant's probability of return to Brooklyn was spotty at best. I said it was the best place for him. 2 days later, he rescinds his trade offer, his trade request, and 7-Eleven is open for business again. Crazy month and a half. Unrealistic trade proposals. I'm not even sure they even existed, but all in all, Durant returns to Brooklyn, running it back. Nash, pretty sure he's on the hot seat. Marks, and they make a move for Markieff Morris. You guys see this Durant return to Brooklyn coming?
Yeah, absolutely. He wasn't going anywhere. Sean Marks isn't stupid. Come on. Unless you got a substantial package for him, he was staying in Brooklyn. I don't care how much you want, just complain, oh, I don't know what's going on. I want to get out of here. Shut up. This is what you wanted, KD. Get a brush your hair, brush the naps, get your ass to media day, start smiling because we all know you were going back to BK, run it back. You're still a top 4 team in the East, when healthy, and Kyrie, actually plays. That's the best spot for him is Brooklyn. You're a toe away from going to the finals to this day, and maybe taking home another championship. So we knew it was coming. Sean Marks had no intention to trade him. I don't care what reports came out; it wasn't happening.
So you sign the guy that he wanted. He doesn't play for the first year of his contract because he's injured. You fire the coach, which took the Nets from a laughing stock for a while to a nice, decent playoffs with D'Angelo Russell. You sign Steve Nash, who, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say anything bad about Steve Nash. No resume at all as a head coach. Even not even as an assistant coach. He was like a consultant for the Warriors.
Yeah.
So not even as a coaching resume. You go withstand all the fire that Kyrie, comes and throws, and you defend and you defend him so the management doesn't trade him mid-season. You underperformed massively on the playoffs last year. You had a great run. Like let's not discredit his run against Milwaukee 2 years ago. That was an amazing run. That was an MVP, like a MVP type of playoff performance. But then you massively underperform against the Celtics, which you almost swept the year before. Now they sweep you. And after all that, you're like, I want to do what I want and I want to request a trade. Hell no. And then like they denied your trade and then you want to fire the coach and the GM. It's like, dude, like this guy is a walking meme. Like, his Twitter comebacks are a meme. His playing was a meme. Even his reactions on the media is a meme. Like, dude, like get your act together. Just perform. Like, I don't want to say like, shut up and play. I'm not being like that. But just like get your act together. You've been given too much to not give back to the team. Like that is the NFL. They were complaining like, the teams are always, making the players bad, prioritizing themselves first. Well, they have given you everything. They had given you the coach, the teammates. Heck, they even given DeAndre Jordan when he signed with them. That didn't even work out. Why are you requesting a trade now? And who nobody has the capital for him. Not even Utah. Not even Utah with Rudy and Mitchell had the capital. So you just gotta, suck it up and do the best that you can. And this year, I think, has a better roster than last year. I believe this roster is better than last year if it stays consistently healthy. I'm not saying like Andre Drummond. I think Andre Drummond is still on the team, right?
Nah,
he's in Chicago.
Chicago, yeah.
Went to Chicago. So, but like you got Joe Harris, that was a great shooter, gonna space out the floor. Kyrie, who's luckily gonna play. We hope he's gonna play more time. You got a Markieff Morris. You got a Royce O'Neal who can defend several positions. You got a better team. Just be patient, suck it up. I know it's been rough, and move on. But these trade demands or anything, especially from Durant, were just so unreasonable. Not only from what they're asking, the teams were asking for, but from his side, he hasn't done anything, and he hasn't done enough to the Nets to be like, okay, we're gonna give you what you want. Like he hasn't given back. It has not been a good return on investment for him. So that's my take on him.
Yeah, that was my biggest gripe. Like, yeah, you sat out a year, you did this. Like, I appreciate what you did against Milwaukee, but like, these were circumstances out of our control. Nobody expected a pandemic. Kyrie got hurt against Milwaukee, and Harden's fat ass came in out of shape. So, what are you gonna do?
I forgot even Harden. They got him James Harden, and I think, and then they got you Harden, and then they bring you back Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, and Andre Drummond, which Ben Simmons is a problem itself. Like, let's discount that. That was bad from the Nets. Hopefully he plays this year, but the thing is, they got him a lot. And sorry to interrupt you, but like even Harden, that was a big move at the time. They gave a lot for him, and look now.
Yeah, they gave up half the team and the draft picks. So Houston's sitting pretty. The only defense I can come with for Durant is that he came here requesting to play with Kyrie, and I know him and Harden are the best of friends. But once Harden quit on the team, it kind of left Brooklyn in like a no-win situation, to where they had to recoup something in order for him not to leave during free agency. So Ben Simmons was the best we're going to get, and honestly, I think Ben Simmons is a better fit.
Yeah,
granted, he has to play.
Exactly, because he doesn't have to do much. You don't have to worry about the ball ever in his hands, really. But he's a decent playmaker if need be. But he plays his defense. He plays his game. You should have no problem breezing through the players because he can. Now he's a legit player that can guard from 1 to 5 on that floor, and you guys have too much damn talent. No, I'm not gonna bring the Knicks tape. You have bubble. Well, hopefully y'all get bubble TJ. You got TJ Warren.
Oh,
I forgot all about him. You got guys like Day'Ron Sharp. You got those young guys. You got Cam Thomas, who is a microwave. If you don't know what a microwave is, when he heats up, it's hard to stop him. I know. So I'm at the Garden. But you got that. You put KD there. You still got Patty Mills. Am I right? You still got Patty Mills. You still got Seth Curry, right? You got shooters everywhere. Plus Joe, like you said, Angel, Joe Harris is coming back. Sniper, one of the best shooters, if not one of the best shooters in the league, when healthy. I mean, the talent is there. If you guys are not at least a top 3 team in the East, Steve Nash got to go. I'm not going to blame Nash because honestly, there's not a lot of people that can handle those egos, except for Mark Jackson. Cough. But there's not a lot of guys that can handle that. They're going to basically coach themselves because there are 2 alpha males in that lineup in Kyrie and KD. So, but you guys are too good to go out like you did last year. I can't see it happening again. You guys are going to play with a chip on. Everybody's going to have that chip on their shoulders, and Brooklyn's going to be a problem. Plain and simple.
Yeah, this Eastern Conference is like really loaded this year.
Mm-hmm.
You look at like top 8, top 6 to 8.
It's crazy.
It's really wild.
I think it's really like, and I'm not trying to bash anything. It's kind of unreasonable to put top 3 on the Nets when you have like teams that have been in the finals recently. Even as a top 6 team, like if they snuck in as a top 5, like a 5th seed, 6th seed, they're scarier, I think, more as an underdog because they have nothing to lose.
Oh,
but if they go and ball out, and they get top 3, okay, it's like you have the team, right? But with all that has been happening around, and I'm still have my doubts on Ben Simmons since that series with Atlanta. Even if Simmons performs, I don't know if they're really that good of a team. With Harden, they were. I think that with Harden, they were top 3 team at best, at worst. Now it's kind of like maybe a top 6. If they get the top seed, that's a plus. But if they go back to the play-in, that is something that I will be worried about, honestly.
Yeah.
So
I can't see it. I just can't. But like I said, even with KD and Kyrie, those 2 alone are gonna get you like a 4 to 5 seed, the top 5 seed. You're gonna with those 2 alone. And then now you add on everybody else that I said, but they gave work to pretty much every top team. I could Milwaukee, right? Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They worked them. They worked Chicago. I mean, they work Cleveland. I mean, there's not really a team because who's going to be able to check KD and Kyrie when they're going? I mean, those are 2 guys that once they start scoring, they'll drop 30 or 40 apiece on your head just coming from those 2. And Ben Simmons, like I said, he doesn't have the pressure. The good thing about Ben Simmons, he needs to be on a team like this because they can mask his offensive issues. Because Lord knows, I don't care how many videos we see of you in the offseason hitting shots in the gym, you still can't shoot. I do not care what I see. You can't shoot. You play D, you're just that's it. You play D and you get an occasional layup or dunk or get your shoot free throws or something. Get your points like that.
Exactly.
But you ain't got to do much. What's the pressure? The pressure that you're playing in New York. So what? But you don't have to do that much. You got Kyrie and KD who can pretty much do everything while you're on the floor.
Yeah, like that's all I need Ben to do, man. Is just knock down free throws. If he can knock down a occasional mid-range shot, God bless you.
Right.
But like, you look at the Toronto, the Raptors. They're gonna be pesky and annoying. Scotty Barnes and Van Vliet. And these guys been working out together all off season. Detroit is up and coming. Orlando, I have them as a play-in.
I like
Atlanta. We're forgetting about Atlanta. They got better. Like I still believe they're gonna be, not as good as people think, but Atlanta is tough. Like, and just go on, Leon. Sorry.
No, it's cool. Boston returning. Too bad Gallinari is out for the year, so got to find a replacement for him. Washington, they're going to be a pain in the neck. So, like, that's why you said with the Knicks roster, they're lucky they make like 9 or 10.
Yeah, I can't be that guy. I'm not gonna say, oh, like I said, 7 to 8 is doable, but get ready for that playing game. They got to play out of their minds again. It just, we'll see.
Hey man, if the Knicks get a home spot on the plane on the Garden,
Oh, what?
playing a one winner take all,
I'm
that is
going.
a tough one.
I'm going. I'm not even kidding. I am going. But that, yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. The East, honestly, you look at both squads. This has reminded me of the night, like the 2000s, the early 2000s, when both freaking conferences were just competitive as hell, especially the West. You don't know what you got. You flip it over to the West. You got New Orleans. You got Minnesota. You got whatever, LA. You got the Clippers coming back with John Wall. John Wall's going to come back hungry. I've been watching that dude, how hungry he's been. And I'm pretty sure we'll get into that, Leon. We discussed that whole thing. You know, Paul George. Kawhi is going to be back finally. I mean, who else we got out there? I was balling out.
Yeah, Memphis pulled out last
Memphis.
year. I think they're gonna take a step back though.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Golden State too. There.
Golden State, they're defending champs.
Golden State, can't forget about them.
Denver coming back strong.
Denver's gonna. Oh yeah. Hopefully MPJ comes back from that back thing. I think that's gonna linger. But Jamal Murray is coming back. So the West is gonna be crazy. West is gonna be the Wild Wild West, all right. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and I know we mentioned Orlando before. Anyway, so how did you become a Magic fan?
So I became a Utah fan because I live in Utah right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the last 3-4 years is the only team that's the only professional team here in this state. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's kind of like a gimme. But growing up, my family is from Puerto Rico. I'm from Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
My family, most of my family that moved to the U.S. moved to the Tampa, Orlando area. So I will go, and that's how I become. I'm more of a race fan, right? I'm a big baseball fan and basketball fan together. So I'm a big race fan. Orlando is the closest team there. And I was, growing up when Dwight Howard got drafted.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a big Dwight Howard fan. So, growing up, seeing them go to the finals and battling out with Boston those years.
Mm-hmm.
And, I got stuck with them. And then, when I decided to go full in on my fandom, they traded him to LA, and I got stuck with mediocre lottery teams. So my highest point in my last decade as an Orlando fan was seeing Nikola Vucevic steal game ones against Toronto and Milwaukee. So imagine how bad it is. But I'm a delusional Magic fan. I think they have been doing better. So I just hope for the best for them.
They got talent, man. Listen, you look at that dude Paulo, dude stand up, dude is there. Franz, Jameer, I think Jalen Suggs is gonna be good. I mean, you just so much. My man Cole Anthony, I love that team. I gotta walk. Can't see it for now. I'll get it for you.
Yeah, Cole Anthony and Mo Bamba and Wendell Carter. There's a lot of young talent. Now, if they play defense, they'll. Whew,
Oh my God.
Nice.
New York stand up. That is pretty nice, man. But Fran's been showing out in the Eurobasket. You know he's been a walking bucket. I would say for the first time in maybe 4 or 5 years, there is some optimism being a Magic fan. I think they're headed in the right direction with the coaching finally set in place.
And this is my only concern as a Magic fan. And there are 2 positions which I believe they need to sort things out because they're really young, but they also it's a risk. It's center and point guard. With Wendell Carter Jr. and Mo Bamba, you got Jalen Suggs, you got Markel Fultz, you got Cole Anthony, right?
Jonathan
So it's
Isaac,
kind of Cole Anthony could be 1 or 2, but I think he's a bit undersized for the 2, so he'll probably play as a 1.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Jalen Suggs, who could he's a true point guard, but he could play as a 2 with Cole Anthony being more of as a scorer. But then you got Markel Fultz. Then you got guys like RJ Hampton who were really high touted prospect. So you kind of like have
Mm-hmm.
to figure out exactly what is direction you're going. And as a Magic fan, you don't know. Like you
Mm-hmm.
don't know where they're going, where they're heading with the point guard position or the guard position. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
one of the things I think they need to address. And the Mo Bamba thing, and that they're battling out with Wendell Carter Jr. I feel Wendell Carter Jr. has won that position, but they're still trying Mo Bamba out, which is for me,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, you try your best. And the
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Isaac thing is the only thing that also worries me. Great potential. Everybody's like, oh, you're loving, but it's like for the last 3 years, I've probably seen him once, and it was on the bubble. And it
Mm-hmm.
was with the thing that happened with the bubble and stuff. But
Right.
honestly, like you gotta
Mm-hmm.
believe that this. I mean, especially with France and with Paulo, now that they have basically Paulo secured that position instantly
Mm-hmm.
at the four. But Franz Wagner has been amazing since the get go, and I truly believe they have. Like you said, there's a lot of optimism, but I believe playing is not out of question now. They
No.
can. They're a big contender for the play-in, and they can snuck in maybe one win as in the 9-10 seed game, and play it out for the 8 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Or who knows? If they go on a nice run, they could go as the 7 seed. But at the end of the day, I feel like they gotta sort out the guard and center position and
Yep.
what to do with Jonathan Isaac. I still believe they need to think if he's the long-term solution or overhaul him with picks too. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, not overhaul him because there's not a lot of market, but 1 or 2 picks.
Then what do you do with Bol Bol? You picked up Bol Bol now. That's another one
Yeah,
that
man.
can. Hey, hey, I'm just saying that. I mean, he's gonna clog up something. But I
Like
just like the youth. I'm big
Bobo,
on youth.
Bobo,
So,
Bobo is. I don't want to be mean. Bobo is just a charity case, man. Like just like he. If prove me wrong, like who am I? Who am I to judge, right? But prove me wrong, right?
mm-hmm.
He's done nothing since he come to the NBA. Maybe opportunities have not come by,
Mm-hmm.
but you go from the Nuggets to the Magic, and the Magic don't give you that much an opportunity. That's just a sign for you to be like, you gotta accept your fact as a role player. Honestly,
Yeah.
there's nothing else there, bud.
Oh, don't forget about Fultz too, man. Yeah, yeah. That's gonna be. Listen, Marco Fultz, he figured it out. They got hurt. He really did. It was awesome to see him go from what the hell is wrong with his shot? What's wrong with him? Is he mental? It was crazy because he legitimately forgot how to shoot. He went from just balling out in college, came there, and you're like, how the hell was he a first pick in the draft? What the hell is going on? And then he figured it out. Then you got to deal with him. Then Cole, like you have a good problem to have, honestly, because the talent is there and the youth is on your side, man. It
It's better
really
to
is.
be. They say it's better to be safe than sorry, right? So
Exactly.
it's not really like I am dreading that we have this problem. I'm not. I'm not the. I don't feel like I'm on a Lakers position right now that I have to
Mm-hmm.
perform, but I don't have the
Mm-hmm.
resources.
Yep.
But having too much sometimes is having nothing at all because you don't know what to do with all those pieces. So let's roll it out. We're probably gonna lose a couple games at the start of the season, and try to figure out their best rotation. But once they lock in, I just hope that they not go like the last 2 years and just be experimenting, and try to win games, like try to
Mm-hmm.
make a nice product out of the team that you have. Because if not,
Absolutely.
then just fire sell everybody else except France and Paolo, and start from
Mm-hmm.
over on those positions, I guess, because there's nothing else.
I agree.
Yeah, I look at them as like Memphis East. They have a nice core they could try to build together, and then once you get that camaraderie going, they could just take off. But yeah, I think this is the year, the building block year, playing tournament. Definitely think it's in their grasp.
Mm-hmm.
And with the to get to an 82 game season, you really need depth anyway, and I
Yep.
think Orlando definitely has that. But along with the such deep Eastern and Western Conference, I think we'll finally see the end of load management.
Oh yeah.
I think these guys are finally going to play more games, and the Popovich back-to-back sit-outs and phantom injuries and whatnot, because with so many teams vying for these playoff spots, there's not a game to give up. So I think you'll finally see guys play more games, which has been trying to get the plan all along. Plus, get these guys, costing these guys money.
That's true. No more pinky rings injuries, right? So
And you mentioned John Wall, which I'm glad he's back. So I know he made a few comments regarding his time out, rehabbing from injury, and I guess people were commenting on his contract status because he made about $45 million a year from Washington and sat out for the past few years, but I guess nobody knew about his mental health state. His thought about committing suicide and health issues with his mom and rehab. So the vulnerability to open up like that, it is quite telling, and it also speaks to the fact that yes, even athletes go through hardships despite how much money you have. Not as rosy as it seems, and I hope it puts a light on the mental health aspect in the league, because the few players here, Paul George mentioned it before, Karl Anthony Towns, most recent case of Ben Simmons. It definitely is something that should be highlighted.
Absolutely, man. Mental health is no freaking joke, and you just never know what these guys are really going through. Like I said, we've been there, losing our moms. It's not a good feeling. I lost it when I was young, so it still hits me to this day, and it does mess with you mentally because there's so many things, especially when it comes to your kids. Hey, you're not gonna ever, meet your grandma or get to be around her again. And when your mom, I'm not sure what his father's situation in his life, but usually these guys just got their mom. That's the one's taking them to practice. That's the one doing this for them. Working two jobs to make sure they're good on their end, and it hits you, man. It really does. And I say, even before this, I like John Wall, but the dude, he showed you how tough he was, what kind of person he is, and for him to get through that, and like I said, I'm just glad to see him back on the court. And I think he's going to ball out. He's going to have a huge chip on his shoulder for the naysayers, and I'm pretty sure he kept receipts.
yeah, I totally agree. You know, I have a saying, whether it's water or money, you can drown on a sea. So basically,
I like that.
it's really hard to
Right there, right there. Yeah.
emas- ema- emasculate. Some money highlights a lot of things. Whether it's your mental health, whether it's your finance, financial intelligence, whether it's your emotional intelligence, it highlights it a lot. And I truly believe that what he's talking about is true. A lot of people had it on the pandemic really hard, and it just highlights how rough was for really a lot of people. Even myself, speak like he spoke about, he spoke in behalf of me. Like I I was evicted from my house at one time while my dad was in the hospital while I was having financial problems. You're in a dark place. You feel like you have no help. You feel
Yep.
alone, and I was alone literally on a faraway state. So you grind it out. Fortunately, I thought that I didn't need therapy, but whoever needs therapy, they should seek it out. I truly believe that I should have really sought it out, and it would have helped me more. But fortunately, I'm at a better place right now. But at the end of the day, you know, mental health is something that you need to address always. Take care of your loved ones, take care of yourself, take care of your physical health. Always don't get in debt. That's always messed you up as in mental health. So he spoke for a lot of people, not only basketball players. I think he spoke for a lot of people that had it rough with family time and 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 the pandemic. So
Yeah,
Absolutely.
well, one, I'm glad you're in a better place because these groups are better with you in it.
Thank you.
You do a lot, you mean a lot to the groups, and I'm glad that able to have you on to share your knowledge, and thank you for sharing your story. But also, as far as, yes, these athletes go through a lot, despite the money they have. It's also the outside noises that, affects, your well-being as well, from various analysts and fans heckling. So you look at former players like Barkley and Shaq and how they attack the generations after them as far as their play. Do you think it's something that, yes, they're doing their job, Stephen A. Smith to the world. Do you think these guys have a responsibility knowing that, their mental health might be not taken into account, or they're just doing their job and just, reporting what they see?
I feel the one that really got out of hand was the JaVale McGee and Shaq situation. That one was really like Shaq was, way out of line sometimes with JaVale McGee. But you gotta also realize that once you sign the contract, you're in the public perception. You gotta also address the fact it's not like I'm telling them, look, shut up and play, right? That's not what we're saying, right? But you also, agree to be a public figure in the United States of America, and especially basketball. So the Stephen A. Smiths of the world, I'm not really worried about that. Maybe, the Kyrie Irving situation with Stephen A. was a little bit carried away, the way he was criticizing the man and his character. Maybe that's out of line, but I don't believe it's a big of a problem. But obviously, if you don't cope it well, then you're gonna have to, like, it will affect, of course, of it. But I don't feel like we have, to put a petition on these media people. But at the same time, we gotta take them into account. They say a lot of crappy stuff, and they say a lot of outrageous takes, and we don't take them, for granted. We take them for granted. So
How about you, Jacob?
Trying to think. Let me get it together on this one. I think some of them really don't take into account how they would feel, because I think they sometimes go off of how it was when they played. Because how tough it was when Shaq played, or who he played with. They feel that since they had to take the the shit talking and all the talk, and I heard it got brutal back then. I mean, nothing was off, you know,
Off
off the
limits?
sheet. Off limits. There you go. Thank you. But nothing was off limits to them, and they just feel like guys need to get tougher. But some guys aren't that mentally tough, and you just gotta sometimes think of their feelings. I get it. I get it. You're doing your job, but sometimes you just gotta step back and be like, damn, was that really too much? Like, I do agree with the JaVale McGee. The JaVale McGee, it was funny as hell in person, but then it does seem like throughout the season he made a whole freaking segment on him, and I'm like, damn, that must fucking suck to have to deal with that. And even with Kate, well, sometimes I feel bad for KD, but then I'm like, wait a minute, I think he does this to himself. Dude's create his own burner account and going kind of crazy on it. But sometimes you put it on yourself, but sometimes it's unwarranted. But like Angel said, you sign that contract, you're in the public eye. I mean, those are things you gotta expect. But some people know their limits and some people don't. I mean, it's the way of the world.
I'll say this much for KD. I mean, some things like you and I would like look as like trivial, 2K ratings or legacy, knowing that what you've already accomplished in this league. Like, why would you respond knowing what you are? But like you say, as a public figure, I guess there comes a certain point where, it is a free country, and you can defend yourself. You know,
Exactly.
as typical as we see it. I mean, it's whatever. I like the back and forth. You sometimes in other sports you don't even get responses even for positive things from many of these players. So
Man.
at times I like the back and forth, but I respect the intensity in which Durant responds.
It's funny as shit. It is funny, man. Trust me when I say this, man. As a business sales rep, I'm freaking opinionated as all hell. I can't imagine being a damn player in the league. Oh man, you get my DMs? I wish you would. I'll make sure right after the game, if I get a shot, I'm about to light his ass up right now. Who the hell you think you talking to? You broke motherfucker. I would, oh my God. You crying in the car. Oh yeah, you gonna cry in the car. It's absolutely happening. Like I said, it is fun though. Like KD, if he bantering me, I told her I wish I can get in that situation with some people. You know, you shut up, pussy. Or skip, man, you better grease your ankles. Nappy ass head, just cut it off. I mean, I'll be going back. I'm gonna have fun. Hopefully, I don't get kicked out. But I'm going off. But it's gonna be fun. I was smiling. I'll try to give him a 5. Yeah, that was good. But like you said, you gotta have fun with it, man. There's so many things going on in the world, obviously, but you gotta have fun. But sometimes he takes it too seriously, like 2K rating. Who gives a shit about your 2K rating, guy? I mean,
there was one. I love one like there's one that was a video like a trainer was talking about working legs, and he was like, "These people don't work their calves. What about look at that guy KD? When is the last time he has worked calves?" And I love how KD just responded. You know, just retweeted the thing and he just put yesterday. LOL. Like it's just like hilarious. Like stuff like that is hilarious, and
it's great.
It is great. Like people sometimes need to be put into their place. And they're like, "Oh, KD, you're not one of the best shooters of all time." I'm like, what the heck, man? Like,
have you seen him play?
Yeah, but you gotta people gotta be sometimes checked on the internet, you know. So like put into their place, and I love that KD. You know, even though all the criticism, like I said, it's a beam. You know, you just laugh so hard, but at the same time, it's really nice. You know, so
even Julius Randle, when he took shot, what he do with his thumb down to the fans, everybody, whoa.
You know, and I was recently, I think it was RJ Barrett recently that did pop up a video. He was on a visiting arena, and they were jawing to him. I think you saw it, and he was like, he looked twice to the referee like to not get a technical. He's like, who you?
He's like, you coming to see me? Right? Like, you came to see me, right? You came to see me, right? Oh, shut the fuck
up. Exactly. You came to see me. It was something like that. And I'm like, what? Like, that is awesome. Like, you know, sometimes people need to be put into their place.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they talk a lot of shit, and you gotta remember these are pro athletes. Like, these people have practiced their whole lives, and you think because you can shoot a couple of greens on 2K and win a couple of 21s at LA Fitness, you can win the game, you know. So come on, bro.
Just like with LeBron. And then fans get too personal. Oh, I hope your son died in a crash. Nah, I would have lost it. And then they wonder in Indiana, that's why LeBron got so mad. He turned around, what the hell? Get him out of here. They LeBron's acting
even Skip Bayless talking about his son.
Like, come on, now. Like, you can't be mentioned. Talk all you want about me, but when you start bringing in the kids, these innocent kids are just trying to make it. They're already under the spotlight, being, you know, under the freaking beam of LeBron, being his kids, and they got enough to deal with. But you want to bring him in? Like, come on now. Just like these fans out of game. Like, why are you talking about my kids? Chris Paul. Like, why are you touching his mom? Like, what are you doing? Like, know your place a little bit. Russell Westbrook had a point sometimes, man. Like, these fans, they getting out of control.
Listen, Skip Bayless is about to lend his hand, give his hand to Dak Prescott right now, so he can play quarterback. I ain't worried about Skip Bayless. There's a nice, interesting documentary on Netflix with Tim Donaghy I watched it a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely left me with more questions than answers.
Mhm.
One, I didn't realize she was from Philly, so that it also kind of made sense.
I'm about to tackle right now.
But it also left me wondering, like, how could the league not see this going on? Like,
Facts.
it was so blatant. And then,
Mm-hmm.
like, if you watch, it's conspiracy theory stream.
Mm-hmm.
So they mentioned Scott Foster and how many games
Oh.
him and Donaghy ref together.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, spoiler alert, uh, Scott Foster was, obviously still refing in the league, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, any idea that David Stern kind of just covered the whole thing up.
Oh yeah.
And then Donnie, he made the point that, they, with the refs and with they had an agenda in the league for Jordan traveling and the Iverson carry. And looking back at the film, definitely made sense.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
They.
and what really, sorry to interrupt you, Jacob.
Yeah, it's
And
all good.
what really surprises me is like, you know, it was all there. Like it wasn't like you were saying. The film is there. You can see it yourself. And the fact that he mentioned, like, I love that he mentioned, oh, like Joey Crawford got a scuffle with, so and so coach. Like, let's just put in separate Rick Adelman, like 2 years
Mhm.
ago, and he every time he refs him, he just more tough from him. Bet on the opposing team, and I'm like, wow, like even the referees are supposed to be like unbiased,
Mm-hmm.
type of officiating. And because let's I think Scott Foster, now puts in questions Chris Paul's record against Scott Foster.
Yeah.
Now put like he's 0-20 on playoff games that he's been ref by him. Like it's just an insane stat, and you're like, that's just like luck. And now you see like Scott Foster involved in this whole issue, and you're like, hold up, what is going on in here? And the NBA is not going to do nothing. But you when you have the FBI investigating the league, and the FBI trying to put a mole, and when the NBA notices that, they just blow it up on purpose so they can be able to get hands free of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just pretty bad image to the league. But
Yeah. Definitely. They lost a lot of credibility along that time, man. And that was the crazy thing. A lot of refs were encouraged that shit. And they knew what the hell. Just like remember we talked about this. I was like, Leon, and we brought it up. You know the Kings should have won that series, that 0-2 series. We all know. Look at the foul discrepancies. Like they changed the game. Like that series, Kings had. I'm sorry, I understand. Lakers had their little dynasty, but they should have lost a game 7. Was it game 6 or game 7 that they
Well,
just
no,
game 6?
Kings lost game 6 to force game
Okay,
7.
okay, and then you're just like, what the hell is going on? And I gotta see more of it. I saw like parts, bits and pieces, but I'm probably gonna watch it tonight. But that right there, man, yeah. Well, God rest his soul, but David Stern went to the grave with a lot of shit he knew that was going on. But oh man, and
and
dude
funny
only
thing,
got. Go ahead, bro.
and funny thing is, like, I don't know if you noticed, Leon. They say that most of the NBA referees come from that town from where Team Donaghy is. It's just like, what? Like that doesn't even like it's
Mm-hmm.
you're it's kind of like a lineage of the towns. Like nobody else has an opportunity except if you're from that town or you're like an
Mm-hmm.
exceptional talent. So it's like that is just a curious stat that I was, oh, that's weird, but I
Yeah,
don't think it affects the game. But
kind of like the road to being a ref was kind of interesting. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you get the minor leagues, like you doing the independent leagues and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would assume it's a easier road than it would be to be like a major league ump, because once you become a major league ump, it's like you like hit the jackpot. But it also had me wondering, like, which sport do you believe that the officials hold the most power?
That's a good question. I gotta go NBA. I want to go MLB. Well,
I was thinking football.
I was gonna say that, but I'm like, they really don't.
The flag thing bothers me sometimes. And not in a bad way, but you sometimes like worried once the play starts. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't hope that this guy doesn't get called for holding, pass interference, roughing the passer. Some things like that. But you're right. Probably it's not that bad, but it influences a lot. Like for example, there's been a lot of missed calls in the NFL that were blatantly obvious, and they don't throw a flag.
That never called it. Yeah, the holdings though, it seemed like every big
baseball,
play.
I feel like baseball and basketball have a lot of power because it's a little bit more sequential game. You don't have those pauses like in the NFL. So baseball, these balls and strikes are the most important thing. And if an ump has a weird strike zone, it's really hard for the pitcher to pitch, the hitter to know when to take a pitch, or take a hack on a swing. And then on basketball, if the ref is mad at you, he's gonna call out you're traveling. if the ref is from Philadelphia and you're playing against them, he's gonna call all your checking or your hand checks. So I'll go with you in NBA analyzing everything. So
like I said, I couldn't be a pro, man. You mess up, like I'll be the ref will start calling me for shit. I'll get a tag. All right, Tim Donaghy. I'm getting thrown out the game.
I guess she.
It'll be a wrap. We're out of here.
Oh my god.
It would be so terrible. But yeah, I gotta watch the rest of that, man. But can you believe it's been 15 years? Like, how crazy is that, man?
Easy.
How freaking crazy is that? Damn, Leon, we was still in high school, bro. Oh, man.
Time does fly, man.
It's freaking nuts.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on the NBA. It's like I know the balls and strikes really do create a discrepancy, and it's exposed more in the playoffs because it's more people watch it. But like the ebbs and flows of a game, the momentum, swings. One foul call here leads to a fast, or a fast break on a non-foul call. It just has so much to do, and knowing the foul situation for star players. Yeah, it just leads to bigger swings in the game. And I think somebody posted it, how Kobe studied for referees' positions during the game, so he would know their blind spots.
Yeah,
know when to commit a foul, know when to, get away with, a hold here, a jersey grab there, and it was rather interesting. And I think, obviously have to be a student of the game to master that, but to have the intelligence to know like when to apply it. And that's why I always thought Harden was one of the best offensive players I've ever seen. But as you can see, how much of an influence the refs have on the game, it affected Harden and Trey's play last year. So there that goes.
You figure out a way how to score. They said, nope, you ain't getting to the line that much.
Flop here, flop there. It definitely makes sense.
Absolutely.
That game 6 is awful.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm gonna rewatch that game, man. It's just I've done it because after talking about that, hearing about it, you go back and watch it, you're like, oh man, this is crazy.
And there's a misconception with that one. I learned from the documentary. Tim Donaghy wasn't reffing that game. Like a lot of people, credit that game with Tim Donaghy's like scandal, and it's kind of like it involves. But I think correct me if I'm wrong, Leon. Tim Donaghy was not reffing that game.
I thought he was.
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't that game. That's what I thought. That's what I learned.
He might have been.
I'm gonna have to go back for that one. I thought he was. Because I thought for sure that they were like taking bets on when they would call, how long they would take who would make the first foul call, in which they never did for like a quarter and a half. And then they were beating Bibby up, or beating Doug Christie up. So I thought it was him and Crawford, or him and
Crawford.
Foster for sure.
Maybe I'm wrong. Sorry.
No, but
Dick Pavetta, I think that he was with him in that one.
Dick Pavetta, man, she.
Figures. And it's crazy.
Like when you know referees and umpires by name, that's how you know. You know.
Oh yeah.
It actually says Dick Pavetta, Bob Delaney, and Ted Bernhard.
Okay.
So I think they don't credit even Tim Donaghy. I think Tim Donaghy mentions it, like, this is one of the examples, but he wasn't even involved in that. It's just it was so like, I was like, oh wait, he wasn't even involved in that game. So that is really concerning. So,
yeah, it's bad. And then they said basically Dick Pavetta, when they wanted a game 7, he was going to officiate game 6, no matter what. And I'm like, oh shit, woo! These motherfuckers had it down, huh?
Yeah.
This was in.
And it's crazy. You never think about that now. Like, imagine you just watch it. Oh, it's ref. Yeah, it's Dick Pavetta, whatever. Now you grow up and you're like, oh, interesting. Now start watching NBA Classic games and checking those refs. You're gonna go, oh, huh.
The only other thing I can compare it to, I mean, it's a totally different sport, but you remember the Marlins World Series, where like Levon Hernandez.
Oh,
yeah,
the
like
strike
wide
zone.
strike zone. It was like 3 inches to the left, 3 inches to the right, and like I forgot how many strikeouts he had, but it was wild. So that's why someone compare it to.
And see, that's when I said like baseball has a lot of influence with the umpiring, because in a consistent basis, the umpire has to make a decision.
Yeah.
In football, maybe not, and so there's a lot of breaks, there's a lot of more stuff. But like in basketball, the officiating also has to check, okay, if the person traveled, if the person put their hand on the motion of shooting, if they flop their hands, if they double dribble, something like that. So it's kind of like there's a lot of involvement in basketball with the refereeing, and if it's not caught on point, things like game 6 of 2022 happens. 2002, sorry, happens.
Yeah, with subjective calls and star players, that's what it's gonna come down to. Like baseball is just black and white. It either you feel like calling it or you don't, depending on how you feel. Sometimes the batter, sometimes the pitcher, doesn't matter. But in the grand scheme of things, the star players run basketball and quarterbacks run football. That's how you get the Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady's and
the tuck rule.
Yeah, so I definitely did see that documentary. That was interesting too.
Sure.
Hall of Fame was this weekend, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yes, it
Ginobili, Swing Cash, and Lindsey Whalen, George Karl got in, Tim Hardaway. There's a lot of clamor about Tim Hardaway, but
Bob Huggins.
No, Bob Huggins. Yeah. I heard his speech. It was really good.
Pretty good. Hugh Evans. He was the first black ref to get inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Sick.
Ain't that some shit?
I'm telling you, man.
How crazy is that?
Oh, really?
Del Harris. He's been around forever. He was around forever.
I thought he was in already.
Nah.
Yeah. Sure. Good for him, man.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I remember him from the freaking Western Forum days of the Lakers with Eddie Jones. Remember him? Damn, I'm getting old. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I definitely George Karl. Forget about him. Yeah. George Karl. He made it.
I mean, George Karl was like the '90s Doc Rivers. You
I like that.
You got these super teams, and you just can't get over the hump. Thanks to Jordan, but
Yeah.
I'm glad he got his due. I would take Carl over
Doc,
Doc to coach
you
a
have a lot of
big
hate for
game.
Doc.
Oh my God. You know
God
what?
damn.
I don't have a lot of hate for him. It's just
He can't stand that.
no. I just think he does a lot of things right,
Mm-hmm.
but when it comes down to like the big moment,
Mm-hmm.
his flaws are exposed. You know, it's just he's a great communicator, but
Mm-hmm.
I just think he's a bad X's and O's guy. Like
Yeah, okay.
I don't think he puts enough accountability on his players,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to George Karl, who like probably puts too much too much on his players to the point where people can't stand playing for him.
Uh-huh. All right,
So
Leon, I got one.
and I truly believe, like,
Mhm.
if you look at the track record of both, yes, Doc has his championship, but I think that's the last conference finals he's ever been that
Oh,
year.
George Karl?
Oh no,
No,
wait,
Doc.
he's been another one with Boston, right, against the Lakers.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
been to 2 conference finals. Carl has been with the Sonics. He has been with the Nuggets. He has been with the Bucks. That there's also controversy on that one. That they didn't want Milwaukee on the finals against the Lakers that year. They wanted AI. You know, the melodrama was another one. But I it's not a bad take to say. I mean, it's pretty weird if you say, like, championship coach versus not championship coach.
Mm-hmm.
Who you take? But at the same time, you got to look at who is the coach. And I
Mm-hmm.
think George Karl was a better tactician and the bench. Like, if
Yeah.
you needed like just a tactician, George Karl was your guy. You need a communicator. Nah. Like,
He wasn't good. Hey, Leon.
So
George Karl or Karl Malone? I mean, George Karl. No, excuse me. Doc Rivers or Karl Malone?
nah, Doc, why you gotta do that to me, man? Listen, I like Doc though, man. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't take him as a coach, but Karl Malone, man, those elbows and those refs never called.
Oh, man, he threw them bows.
His mid-range jumper was,
It was money,
automatic,
man.
but
Mhm.
he was a dirty motherfucker who got away with a lot of shit, and Stockton didn't get his proper due.
Leon was happy as hell when Jordan hit those shots. Yes, yes.
And yeah, and who's the reason that Utah didn't win? Karl Malone. Make a free throw. You got eyes in the back of your head.
Jordan strip. Give me that damn ball.
Yeah,
Give me
please.
that damn ball.
I tell you one thing. I'll take Giannis over Karl Malone in a heartbeat.
Ooh,
Heartbeat.
damn. Huh.
Non-jump shooting ass and all.
That's a hot take.
That's a hot. Make it hot.
You watching Giannis turn his Cheryl basket?
That's my mama's pie coming out the oven hot take, dude.
That's woo.
Ooh, like that.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know, mate. I mean,
That's a.
Look at Giannis.
we're talking about the
resume.
We're talking about the third-time best all scorer, two-time MVP also. But Giannis, has a DPOY on his resume too. So who knows? But
When he's
that's a
said
hot
and done.
take, man.
He's said and done.
When it's all said and done, I can see him as the best power forward. When it's all said and done.
Ooh, I mean, we'll see.
If he wins another title, I mean, to be fair, Duncan is in that
Duncan,
conversation.
man.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
Trust me, and I'm a KG guy.
I was thinking of Duncan as a center,
He's
power forward, but it's a power forward. But
yeah, Duncan, man, that definitely. I'm a KG guy. Everybody knows that, but damn, Duncan, he definitely put it on everybody. Didn't matter who it was. Man, it was so weird. Speaking of the Hall of Fame, it was so weird just seeing that, man. Just him, Parker, Ginobili, see Duncan looking like a damn math teacher still. I'm just like, damn, it's crazy, man, with his hair growing out and everything. It's so weird, but shout out to Ginobili, man. Like one of, if not the best six man ever. Yeah, you can't deny that one. But yeah, that Hall of Fame was definitely good. But Swing Cash, go ahead, brother.
Probably the best South American ever. Like if you look at, like no, like excluding the Gasol's brother, is also
Mhm.
like Spanish speaking
Mhm.
country, but like South American, there's not a lot of players that come from there. Manu Ginobili has accomplished everything all said and done. He's been an All Star.
Absolutely.
He's been an NBA champion. He's been a gold medalist for his country. You
Mhm.
know, I I I believe he's one of. I mean, I cannot think of another South American that's better than him. But at the same time, the disrespect I think for Mano is a little bit overcarried. Like
Mhm.
people are like, "Oh, who's this? Six man
That's why.
trash guy." I'm like, dude,
That's
come
why.
on. You didn't see him at his peak, and then when he took the role, he was the best at his role, and then
Mhm.
he took his national team to compete with the best of the best in the U.S. Even though they sent the B/C team to that Olympics, right? But still, it's a U.S. U.S. filled NBA player team. So
Mhm. I
You know,
mean, yeah.
it also got me somewhat thinking. Um,
Mhm.
now the international game is really taken over for the most part.
Mhm.
I don't think we've had an American MVP since what, Harden?
Shit. Damn.
yeah,
Yeah.
true.
You
It's
look at
been
Luca.
Giannis,
Interesting.
Jokic.
Mhm.
Yeah, Luca is one of the front runners this year. Joker
Ain't
on
winning
his
shit.
way trying to be a three-time MVP. Giannis,
Mhm.
uh, Ma,
Embiid.
yeah, and B. I mean, these
Mhm.
guys, uh, what they're doing for the game is rather outstanding, and is also showing up in like now these different countries. Uh, Germany with Wagner and Schroeder, Finland
Mhm.
with marketing, uh, Cat Duarte playing for the Dominican Republic,
Mhm.
Jose Alvarado for Puerto Rico. So it's really cool to see. I remember Carlos Arroyo back in the day.
Oh man, he kicked our ass that game. I still remember that. He put it on him. I mean, he was never gonna play a better game than that boy. Good lord.
To be fair, I still go around the house and flaunt my jersey like him at the end of
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
game.
remember that.
That
That
cost.
was
I
big,
mean,
man.
who knows? I actually think that cost him a spot in the NBA because
Mm,
people after that started. I mean, his playing time started to get diminished, even though he was
mm.
also a crybaby and
Yeah, oh yeah.
spoiled brat. But who knows? But Arroyo that game, bro. Oof,
That was crazy.
he was he was a magician that
I
day.
was pissed though. I was heated. I was like, how the hell is he kicking that? No, man. I'm like, yo. I mean, that was like just oh man. But yeah, he did, man. He killed it. Ah, memories. Damn, damn, damn.
But
But
yeah,
yeah, definitely.
international play is really here. Now you see it as you see it in baseball. Now it's on it should be more evident in basketball, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just good for the game. I'm interested to see this Netflix doc on the Redeem team because now it
Oh
just
yeah.
makes the Olympic teams. Now you got to bring your A game with the way
Mm-hmm.
these guys are coming out. You look at France, Gobert and Fournier. Now Embiid's going to
Mm-hmm.
join the team. I mean, Italy
Who?
knocked Serbia off.
He,
Joel Embiid, he got
is he
a
really?
French. Yeah, he has
Really?
a French citizenship, so he can
Oh
play for the
crap.
French team.
Okay. That's interesting.
Uh, Serbia, Germany, and Czech
Serbia is
Republic,
always a tough team.
Slovenia now with Dragic and Luka. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, these guys are really gonna put it on the American team. So let's see how that
I,
turns out.
I like it though. More people showing freaking pride for the country, man. It's bring it to the stage.
Where um, also, Angel, I want to thank you again for spearheading our WNBA fantasy league. It was a
Yes, sir.
it was a it was a success without me winning, but it's fine, fine.
I,
I had a lot of fun doing it. I know we had an auto draft, but uh, you had mentioned it before. You took initiative and put it together, man. It was a
Absolutely.
great time, and thank you again.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
I'm still pissed that I
Go ahead, say it.
the most
Go ahead, say it.
forward. What?
Now go ahead, say it. You mad too. We all know. When Felipe wins, everybody loses.
What do you mean? Sorry. Sorry, my internet lagged a bit.
I know. Go ahead and say it. When Felipe wins, everybody loses. You know. No. Go ahead and say it. You damn right I was gonna say it.
I lost to Felipe in the women's basketball league. I lost to Felipe in my baseball league, and now I'm gonna lose again in my basketball league. Who knows if I make the playoffs in the basketball life league? It's just oh my gosh, it's annoying. But at the end of the day, it was really fun, and I learn a lot about WNBA right now. So
It's fun, man. It's so fun to watch.
Thanks, guys, for joining too. So that was great from you.
Absolutely,
it was great. Despite losing, but watching the ladies play, and I know we got the playoffs going on now. Sky being knocked out with Parker, and Beverley knocked out by the Connecticut Sun. And now it's the Sun and the Las Vegas Aces in the finals. Aces took a 1-0 lead. Asia Wilson with the MVP, Becky Hammond with Coach of the Year. Pretty much Aces sweeping the entire awards.
And even Kelsey Plum won the All-Star Game MVP.
Yeah. I mean, the atmosphere they have out in Vegas for that team is wild. I know the Raiders owner is also the owner for the Aces, so that's pretty cool. I mean,
cut Kelsey off.
Yeah. I think, no, I'm not confirmed, but I think she's dating Darren Waller at the Raiders.
Oh, come on, son. What you got? I don't got. No, I'm saying.
About another 50 million.
Yeah, true, man. I could give love though. That's priceless.
Okay, not gonna lie. Vegas is a 6-hour trip down from Utah, so I might as well take a trip to the Aces game soon.
You should, man.
It's really cool.
Pretty cool.
In the Storm, I got knocked out by the Aces. Brennan Stewart dropped 42 in Game 5. Sue Bird's final game, so she's riding off into the sunset. 21-year career, all with Seattle. See there, and Chelsea Gray for the Aces has been playing like out of her mind.
Best shooter in the world right now.
Word.
Man, she's been out of freaking mind. But I love just the story, man, because if you're actually Becky Hammond and Kurt Miller, the coach of the Sun, he actually was assistant coach when Becky Hammond was playing for Colorado. It's freaking awesome. I was like, whoa. You talk about just full circle into that, man. Gotta love it. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yes, sir. And Aja Wilson, didn't she win the DPOY too?
Yeah, she won Defensive Player of the Year. Yep.
That's crazy. It's just freaking. Well, she's the 7th player in WNBA history to win more than the MVP more than once. Jordan Swoops, Cynthia Cooper, damn Houston teams. We're not gonna get into that. Swoops, Cooper, Del Don, Candace, Parker, and I think Brandon won it twice, didn't she?
Yeah, Brandon won it twice.
It's crazy, man. That's some ballers. Definitely got them.
Listen, I think Brandon's going to end up in New York, team up with Sabrina, and really.
Don't get me excited.
Listen, fingers crossed.
I'm saying, so let that happen. Oh man, I want to get down to a Liberty game now.
Yeah, it was cool, man. We good here. They showed up. Sabrina put on a show. Almost had a triple-double when I went, so it was cool.
There you go.
And Angel said he's going to take a trip to Vegas. Seattle and Vegas being rumored for new expansion teams, so you might be able to get off that Utah train wreck and hop on board to Vegas.
I'm gonna have a meme with the Kevin Durant picture and my face on it. My next adventure.
Man,
Imagine that basketball returning to Seattle.
I'll be honest. I know Vegas seems like the exciting pick, but Seattle, how they took away that team, that fan base, man, they deserve it. I can't. I don't want to see anybody else get a team but Seattle. Nah. Man.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming for them. They definitely deserve it. And I think the NBA is going to do right by them. I'm not sure what year they're going to be in, but probably like in 2 years. So
at least
I think they'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of new jerseys have come out. Statement jerseys, vintage, the classic jerseys. Do you have any favorites?
Not the Utah ones, that's for sure.
It's like inmates design that Jazz one. Like, you know what? We got nothing else to do in ourselves. Here you go, man. This is our.
I honestly think if the Sharpie highlighter company would just promote those jerseys, it would be a bank. Like Sharpie, like the Utah Jazz jersey, bright as hell. Like the highlighter Sharpies, the ones that you use for bookmarking and stuff. Those, we look like a highlighter for a bookmark. Like it's just so annoying.
Oh man!
Like crime scene tape on that jersey.
Oh man! Speaking of crime scene,
it looks like. Honestly, it looks like if you went to paint on your computer and you just started like filling it up. You got the little bucket fig. You use the Paint 95 and start filling up the jersey.
You're trying to get it
and you just wrote Utah.
Oh man,
it's so
that's
annoying,
terrible.
But...
Speaking of crime scene, you got freaking Detroit. But man, as you see that, you think 12 right there.
But I like the
who else they got? Miami. I like how they brought that one back, the old one with the little flame. I like that one.
I do like the Jazz vintage one.
Yeah,
classic one. Went back to the mountains. Thank God. That's
that's
only positive from the Malone era. Only positive.
Only positive. Who else they got? The Rockets is just I don't.
What, you don't like the Rockets one?
I got a question, man.
Give it to Seattle, man. Seattle got that fucking color, man. It just don't.
But it was the San Diego Rockets.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, yeah.
They look like the San Francisco college team, bro. You seen those colors?
Yeah, I'm just like, what? Like, it's okay. It's okay.
It
but
looks
I
nice.
Yeah,
it's a jersey. It's a jersey I will buy, but it's like I will still think, what in the world does have to do with the Rockets being colors? It's just.
But my favorite.
That's fair.
The Suns, with the Barkley era ones, man, they never get old. That one never. I might get it. I'm not even gonna lie. I might start bringing back jerseys a little bit.
Yeah, they should bring back also the Minnesota KG ones. The
black one, the black one with the trees around the arm. Yep.
Yeah,
I got that one too. That one.
OG.
They bought the Chris Mellon ones back. The Run TMC ones back. I like that Warriors one.
Too.
I like the Bucks one is pretty. The Bucks one is sick with the horns coming out. That looks good. They did it up with this one. The Nets is just the Nets. They keep it simple.
I mean, there's only so much you can do with black and white.
Black and white. I mean, listen, they put it down with the Bed-Stuy one. I'm sorry, like when they did the Coogee shit for Biggie, that right there, I got to get that. I must have it.
I'm telling you, you can't find it. You can't find it.
Listen, I'll find it. Listen, don't.
Do you like the Pistons ones?
They remind me of the cops. They got enough problems in Detroit, man. What are you doing? What are you doing to yourself? you could bring back the Grand Hill once or something?
They did bring back those.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah, they
No,
did.
I just looked at it. Yep. I just saw it.
And the Minneapolis Lakers one is nice.
Yeah, I like that. The freaking Cavs, they're like a damn summer league jersey. What are you doing? Yeah. Like what? They save all that damn money. I thought they had like Kobe Altman when he was like a freaking, what do you call it? A guru of saving money. Shit, you could have spent that shit on some of his jerseys. I could have created this. Washington
copying
Wizards.
You saw that one? They basically made it look like the Nationals. They kind of like the split version of it.
Wait, with the Wizards?
Yeah.
It looks.
It's pink. It's like a flip version of the National ones, pretty much.
Oh, that's because of the it's like the
The
City
blue
Edition
thing.
one.
Yeah,
I like those pink ones.
it's not bad. I got sneakers to go with that. Like I said, I feel it. I like pink. San Antonio, the George Gervin ones. Woo.
Those are nice.
They damn man. They need to chill.
Yeah, Christmas
The
is
Knicks
gonna be good, man. I didn't see the next one.
They didn't do it. I don't think they did it yet. They always do it. Theirs late for some reason. I like the one from last year. I wouldn't even lie. It was simple with the white, blue, and orange. Simple New York coming across there. I like that one. But yeah, the Jazz, that purple one with the mountains, like you said.
That's the one. That's the next one I need to buy.
Mm-hmm.
With my boy JC. Woo.
He won't be on the team,
Clarkson.
so you Horton Tucker, Stanley Johnson. These are guys you should be aiming for.
Just get Stockton.
I'm gonna buy the Laurie Marketing City Edition.
Oh, you lost your damn mind.
Listen, just get a good 2 years out of it.
Just get custom. That's what I did with the Jets. I got tired. I got tired of the quarterback change. Moses right on the back. I'll be there forever. My name ain't going nowhere. But no. Nope.
Quarterback come and go, but with Moses stay forever.
Exactly. Except I did get the green Zach Wilson one though, so let's see how long he lasts. Listen, I'm a Jet fan. I gotta keep it real.
I hear you.
Leon, we stay taking L's.
Talking to the Lions fan, bro.
Yeah. Well, Leon, man, listen. Love you to death. God damn, I've never. When he told me he's a Lion fan, I'm like, thank God I'm a Jet fan because there ain't nobody going through more shit than the Detroit Lions. I can't. Just Barry and Calvin Johnson, then Joey Harrington. Leon loved Joey Harrington. I'm taking that to the grave with me. I'm telling everybody, this dude was really high on Joey Harrington. Leon loved that guy.
Did you see that tape from Oregon? Listen, that guy put in work until
he put in work, all right. Throwing the ball to the other fucking team.
Listen here. I was hyped. Hard Knocks hyped me up this year. I put money on them winning the division, and then they went out and let Jalen Hurts run wild.
Mm-hmm.
They put up 35 points and lost.
I mean, yeah, listen. Hey, that top 5 offense, man, you speak it into existence. Leon, go figure. The Lions and the Jets play each other. If it wasn't so damn cold, I'd be going to that damn game.
Yeah, that's gonna be brutal.
That's too fucking.
Yeah, it's too cold.
September, absolutely. How about Leon? We going. I know we play the Bears. Yeah, we got that whole division. We're gonna get ass whipped. Well, we beat the Lions and the Bears. I'll be happy. I can tell you. We beat those two, especially the Bears. That I want to see Zach Wilson outduel Justin Fields. Because Matt, even if that's our only win of the year, he is never going to hit the end of it. He's going to hit every single day. Zach God, every day.
Yeah, I'm glad those guys came back the other night. Preview the season. They were dead on about a lot of things, especially the Packers.
Oh man,
bum ass Packers. But
that's what happened. You get rid of your damn receiver.
Yeah, they were dead on about that. They were dead on about the Cardinals, and it's nice to see Randy's might be.
Don't talk about the Packers, man. I got Rodgers.
Yeah, me too. On one of my leagues, it hurt. Well, it was good to see those guys back, like you said, man. Seeing them back in the fold. Bushnell, Hammond, even had Henry on that BITCH. It was good to see, man.
Very good, very good. And over in baseball, I believe it's orange pinstripes now. It's a combination of Dong City and it's orange pinstripes.
Mets fans and Yankee fans.
Mets fans and Yankees fans getting together.
James Handevold, Sean Connor, Flannery, Henry Maldonado, Vince Mercandetti. Speaking of that, Giants fans don't know how to act after one win. I just had to put that dig in there. Calm your asses down.
Listen, if you gotta watch Boone every day, I don't blame you.
Yo, I know I'm a Rays fan, but it's Sten Boone, man. Hashtag is Sten Boone.
I see, bro, I'm telling you, I started it last 2 years. Extend, hashtag extend Boone. You want to see more?
Sten Boone. I'm not. In Boone we trust, bro. In Boone we trust. I don't want to see no coach in there. Boone.
Oh my God, how many games are you back now?
I think it's 5. I mean,
close, right?
They just won. I mean, I'm pissed because the Yankees were not scoring at all, and they just went and scored 19 runs in the last 2 games against.
That's going to happen, man. Their offense is too good to stay quiet. Sounds like the Mets. We're getting our ass handed to us by the Cubs, and DeGrom was pitching, so I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, so I got it. You know what? Sorry, I'm just trying to pull up the standings here. I think we were 5.5 games back. So now we're 5.5 games back. They're playing the Blue Jays, which are like a half game back. So we're gonna play them tomorrow, and I think they have a doubleheader today. So they're playing today, tomorrow, and on today's Tuesday, on Wednesday. No, my bad. On Thursday. So that will determine the wild card, but hope the Yankees lose the next 3 so we can take over.
Imagine that.
Yeah, I never know what to make of Toronto, although Bo Bichette right now is just going.
Oh, yeah. It's the pitching, man. I said that. The pitching is going to it was going to fail them. I don't know why the hell they thought bringing over Gausman from, San Francisco to Toronto, this tough-ass AL East, like he was going to go run roughshod over him. Hell no. It wasn't going to happen. Yeah, the pitching is dookie.
Kevin Gausman.
I'm not going to lie. I mean, I had Gausman on my league. He pitched me really well. So I'm not – so he can implode right now, but he didn't implode on me when I was on the playoffs. He took me to the Final Four, so I'm happy with him.
I mean, it's just – yeah, in Boston, it's just –
yeah, you must have been listening to Felipe over at Total Bases because that was his guy. So I'm just going to say you follow the advice of Fantasy God.
So listen, like with the stats and everything, he took me to him, and he whooped my ass. But Gausman gave me my results, but then he shit the bed with Felipe. So he has a voodoo on me. I don't know. I'm still depressed on that.
You sound still depressed. Yeah, we're in the playoffs now.
Yeah, these fantasy things will really, really get you down. I had a lead last week, all week until the last day, and then I was trying to manipulate the lineups and whatnot. And Kyle Finnegan blew a save for me, and that was it. He didn't blow a save. I was up in the losses category. Kyle Finnegan picked up a loss, lost that category, and then I ended up losing the matchup on the final hour of the matchup. So now I got bounced out of the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm about to get bounced out by Henry probably. Nope, Judge got 56.
So what is your expectation for the Jazz this season, next season? Well, this season.
That's a question I never thought I asked.
The shock on his face. He said, "Oh damn, he went there."
Yeah, I gotta think about that one. I mean, is gonna be hashtag Victor Wembanyama away because this is the only thing I'm aspiring for. Like, I mean, unless they have look, we have the picks of the Timberwolves, which probably gonna be a playoff team. We have the pick of the Cavaliers, which gonna be probably a playoff team. I don't know if we got another pick for this year except ours. Is either we tank or we hope to God that the Timberwolves or the Cavs are a fluke.
Mm-hmm.
And I would probably bet more that we tank is a lot more easier than the other ones. So with the young guns that we have, I could probably say a 12 to 11 to 12 seed is feasible at best. I think we're creeping on the play-in, but we're not gonna go forward unless Laurie Markkinen and Colin Sexton become the sharpshooters that they were meant to be in Cleveland. But 11 or 12, that's my expectation, at least at best. At worst, let's say the best last seed, so we can get the best odds for the lottery. But
yeah, when you depending on Larry Markkinen, your ass is in trouble.
Listen, I commend him for not being gun shy about taking up a French big man. So
I
more
mean,
power to
listen,
you, man.
I'm just hoping.
I'm just saying, you mentioned that. I'm just saying we just have problems with a Frenchman named Rudy. Just saying. So if it's not, if his name is not Rudy, welcome aboard. But if his name is Rudy, I'll have to check his last name just to make sure.
Maybe feed him Utah pizza.
Oh shit! Yeah, I had to ask. The pizza really that bad there?
Pizza?
Yeah, like what? You eat it there?
I
I wouldn't. But
I won't recommend it. It's like this for sure.
it ain't shit.
It ain't. Yeah, it's not shit, but it ain't shit. So
I mean,
like,
all right. So if we wanted to come to Utah and we gonna get some grub, where the hell are we going to eat? Or just cook your own damn food?
I go to the mountains, man, and cook them burgers or something.
There you
That's
go. Okay.
that's the best thing. Like camping here is so nice. I mean, I love camping. I don't know about you guys. It's probably one of the best things I enjoy more doing outside of sports. But
Respect
grub here, the good. I mean, the good thing is there's a lot of variety on stuff, but it's not like top notch. I could find you a couple of spots that are like OGs, but they're not gonna be like, a nice spot in New York or something.
Gotcha. Yeah, you won't catch my black ass camping. Sorry.
We've seen the movies, man. First,
Yeah,
that's
it ain't. Nah. As soon as I hear, wow, nope, that's all I hear. I hear scratch.
Funny thing, I was recently in Idaho and I stayed on a place I never stayed on a place that had a bear watch, and so I went to Idaho recently.
Oh, not true.
They had it on bear watch, and I'm like, ooh, that was scary. Nothing happened, of course, but I just put on my tent, slept like a baby, and came out like I was like, if the bear gonna come, he's gonna hear my growling at night. So.
Nah, man. I used to love watching Yogi Bear. I don't want to wake up and become the picnic basket. Listen, hey, boo boo. Oh, hell no. Must be out your goddamn mind. I'll camp out my backyard. It's big enough.
No, you can. But going back to the question, 11, 12 at best.
Okay.
Like the worst we can get. But if not, go full tank. Don't risk the odds. Like get the best odds possible. And if that the draft, I haven't searched this draft class yet, but I'm gonna see it through the college season. It's pretty loaded, they say. So
yeah, it's another one.
Another one that like last year's that's pretty loaded. So last year's was like top three heavy, and then the other ones were like really good players. This one they say is loaded, so let's hope for the best.
Like I say, Rudy Gay and Colin Sexton. You got a interesting combo of the name there, but we're gonna leave it there. I'm not trying to get kicked off, but
yeah.
Well, you got. I'm just looking at the roster. Okay, you got THT, got Markkinen, you got Jared Vanderbilt, I like Jared Vanderbilt. College Sexton, okay. Jared Butler, I like. He from Baylor, good defensive player.
Yeah,
Um,
pretty good.
you got Nikhil Alexander Walker.
Butler won MIP on the Final Four that year. They won.
Yep.
So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. You got some definitely Walker Kessler, talented player.
No, we got young talent. Like it's like if the draft if we bust on the draft, at least we got. I mean, I hope those talented players can come up and explode. But if not, then you just hope for the best. That the draft is the way to go, working. So.
Yeah, I got to trade Conley though.
Conley and Bogdanovich, man.
Him too.
The funny thing, those two guys are the ones that we brought to the system to make him better. And those are the two guys that on the last game against Dallas, one of them traveled and the other one missed an open three. Talk about luck, man. Like it was just I was just looking at the game. I'm like, I was so banking so much high on these guys the last 2 years, and look at what they've done now. Get him out of here, man. Shipped it.
I agree.
Yeah,
right.
Detroit.
I liked him in LA.
Yeah.
And I think Westbrook. I don't know if he'll ever agree to go into Utah, but that's the kind of team that like he'll just take over and put up triple-double numbers and just.
Honestly, if he comes to Utah and just give us a nice show, and they suck, that's all I ask. Just suck, but at least put a nice show that I could be able to. just be bad, but at least put a nice show that I can be able to go to buy a $15 ticket. So you're gonna go from like $80 to $15
There you go.
to go watch the Jazz. That's a good thing.
Hey, they look good.
Man,
yeah,
I know.
Hey, they're gonna look good in those jerseys though.
Yeah.
Oh man, but no. Listen, almost what hour and a half, 45. It's been an awesome episode, man. I'm glad he would have Angel on to share his thoughts about Utah, man. And again, really glad for everything you do in the groups. Thank you for lending your time to us. Do you have any parting words for our audience?
Thank you very much. Keep sharing on the groups. Everybody's comments are great. If they're pretty trash, we're gonna trash them together. If they're pretty good, we're gonna enjoy them together, right? But
absolutely,
share your comments. Enjoy the chats there. And just if you have, and just root for your teams. Don't be afraid to share if you're a Detroit fan or a Vancouver Grizzlies all day fans. Just share your team. I am a Utah Jazz fan, and trying to do my best here, right?
There you go.
Thank you for it, man. And this guy comes on with Nick's paraphernalia every episode with no shame.
No goddamn shame, man. Listen, we're gonna look good. All right. Next tape, we're gonna be back. You know what they say? The tape gun fills again. We gotta just put another one on. Either we suck, exactly. We probably gonna take some L's. Yeah, pretty much. Well, we're gonna take some L's. I'm just hoping we have a bounce back. We get back in the playoffs because it's nothing like having New York in the playoffs. No, I'm not talking about Brooklyn. I don't care if they're in the same state. There ain't nothing like having the Knicks in the playoffs, all right? Just saying.
It's not like the Buffalo Bills.
Hey,
whoa. The
No,
Knicks actually won. The Knicks actually took it all the way twice, all right? We don't all right, I don't give a damn when it was. Don't get me twisted with that Bills Mafia nonsense. All right. We don't jump on tables like
dad
fools.
was born, bro.
Damn. Nah, it's all love though. It's all fun. See, that's the kind of group we have, man. It's a lot of love. Definitely, Angel. Appreciate you, brother, for coming on, sticking with us. It's always fun in the group. The banter back and forth. We love it. We're gonna keep it going. Oh man. It's crazy. We're back.
I think the next episode will probably be like around media day, so probably a good time to preview the season and get the takes on various media days from around the league. Interesting to see the Lakers. Interesting to see the Nets. How Clippers stack up. So this should be good.
Absolutely. It's gonna be fun. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Can't wait. Thank you again, Angel. My man Jacob, thank you
A pleasure.
for your time. And for everyone out there listening, you can catch us on YouTube or any of our audio platforms, Spotify, Anchor, iHeartRadio, Apple, however you receive your podcast. And until next time, everybody, ball out.
Sure.